Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's day 9 of the Neopagan November challenge, and today's prompt is, I'll never forget. I'll never forget the first time I walked into a witchy store. I had been playing around with divination for about at least a year before even finding out about witchcraft. I've been playing with reading tarot cards and dominoes and dice and dream interpretation and palm reading. Oh my. And my very best friend in the whole world was out one day working, and she had to go door to door to businesses. I think she was selling perfume. And she came home one day and she said, "Leanne, I went into a store today that I think you would love. I'll take you there this weekend." I said, "Okay, cool." We walked into Curious Goods, and I have never looked back. The instant I walked in and I looked around, I knew I was in the right place. And I browsed and I browsed, and the store was quite small when I first went. Definitely smaller than the first floor of my house. It wasn't very large at all. And I was enthralled with everything. And I decided then and there to buy a couple of books. And I bought True Magic, A Beginner's Guide by Amber Kay, and Spellcraft, Hexcraft, and Witchcraft by Anna Riva. This one because I loved the picture. I'm not going to lie. I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but I loved the picture. And I'm like, ooh, magic. Okay. Didn't even register that it had a K on it. But then this one says, A Handbook of Do-It-Yourself Enchantments for Good and Evil. Uses of occult materials explained and their secret powers revealed. Who wouldn't want to read this book? And then on the back, it tells you it has like a table of contents, so you know all the different things that are in there. And I bought both of these books. Went home, still thinking about all the amazing things I saw in that shop, and started reading. And first, I flipped through this one, the most intriguing of the two books. And I'm reading about things like using swallow's eyes and dove's blood ink. And while I'm a little concerned, I'm not completely afraid of it either. So I read through this book, and then I pick up this one and I start reading, and it is quite different than this book. Yet I like them both. So I've read both books probably in a matter of a day, and decided I was going to make a charm bag based on what I found out in this book. But I had no ingredients. I had nothing. So what did that require? A trip back to that same witchcraft store. Because where else are you going to get dove's blood ink and the heart of a swallow? But at a witchcraft store. So my friend and I went back to that store, and I bought a rose quartz, a moonstone, the book Celtic Magic. Pretty sure I bought a second book again, but I can't remember which one that was. And then I think got lavender, orris root. And I asked about, I'm like, the heart of a swallow, that's not really a swallow's heart, is it? She laughed at me. She goes, "No, it's not. It's a piece of a plant." I said, "Okay, I need one of those. And dove's blood ink, not from a dove, right?" She goes, "No." I'm like, "Okay, I need that too." I bought all my goodies. I went home. I planned out my charm bag. For a candle, I used a pink birthday candle to have lit while I was, doing my thing. And the only place I had to practice with any sort of privacy, without any interruptions, was in the bathroom. So on the bathroom counter, I spread out a little cloth and all my newly purchased goodies, and a little bag that I had a little drawstring bag that I had laying around. I think it was tan. And I used that. And I put together my little charm bag for attraction. And I bought attraction oil, which to this day, the smell still haunts me. I can't find anything that smells like it. I loved it. I what I assumed was anointing. I anointed the items with the attraction oil one by one as I put them in the bag, closed the bag, anointed the bag, said my little attract love rhyme. I didn't write it down because I hadn't gotten to any part in any book yet that told me I needed to keep track of this stuff. Threw it in my purse and carried it around for God knows how long. And that was the beginning of the end. That was it. I was from that exact moment on, I was a witch, and I was never going to be anything else but a witch. Did it work? I think it did, just not in the way I intended, and probably kind of wish it almost didn't work the way it did. But, I was learning, and yeah, things go wrong. And it was my first spell ever. Or maybe it didn't work, and that's why things ended up the way they did. I have no idea. All I know is I was in love with witchcraft from that moment on. I convinced my mom to take me, because I didn't have a car yet. My mom to take me, and it was like a 20-plus minute ride from where I lived to the one witchcraft store that I knew of. And yeah, she brought me. Me and my sister tagged along, and my mom actually ended up buying some incense and a candle just because they smelled nice. I bought more books. I bought more stuff. But everything still stayed within my small little box. If it didn't fit in that box, I didn't have anywhere to put it. But I also didn't have a lot of things because it's not that I didn't think I needed anything. I just couldn't imagine having all this extra stuff because the internet was just barely getting started. There was no YouTube, so you didn't see everybody having all this stuff. Figured if you needed to do a spell, you went and you got the stuff as needed. And look at me now, 30 years later. But yeah, I will never, ever forget that feeling of witchcraft is real. And even though it wasn't the fairy tale and movie witchcraft that I had dreamed about being real since I was little, it was still some form of that thing that I wanted to be real. And I got to do it. So yes, that is my I'll never forget. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm having so much fun. I hope you come back because I like having company while I'm having my fun. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Oh, cheers.